What's up, guys? This is Bull by the Fell-Handed, and today we have some awesome guest footage from ByzantineFalcon. He sent it to me via Bull by the Fell-Handed on Facebook, and you can too. Now, a lot of new stuff going on. We are on Ravage Capital, Standard Battle. The Greens have taken the western spawn, and the Reds the eastern. We are in none other than the Mutz Tier 8, massively awesome tank. Now, I know a lot of guys are going to wonder why I did no review for the Mutz. Well, the problem is kind of when it came out, I had injured my eye, and I didn't really put out very many videos at that time, and I kind of missed my window. If I put one out now, it will more or less just be following everyone else's everyone else's video, so that's kind of my thing. So that's why I figured, you know what, let's get out here, let's go straight into gameplay and see what this little monster can do. Now, the reason I haven't looked up any stats for this tank, I'm just going off what I see. I see a lot of mobility, I see some excellent hull traverse, I see a lot of good solid DPM here. I see some good depression. I can't really tell you exactly how good because I haven't really seen it on a lot of hills. Now, moving on, let's get to the gameplay here. Right off the bat here, we go ahead and run the left flank. A lot of open territory here in the left flank. We are, however, pulling a little bit of assist damage right here. We've got some good cover here. Not a very deep hill, but you know what? It's enough to not get you shot. And in my case, that's all that I would worry about as a player, and that's what you need to worry about too. So a lot of action right here. We've got a lot of guys lining up here. Now, guys, when you're in a formation like this, even if you're not in the same platoon, it's very important to stay in your lane. If you don't stay in your lane when you're going back and forth, you're going to end up locking somebody up, and then, you know, there's going to be hate mail fired and rivalries and so on and so forth. So the area we're in here is taking a little bit of rounds. I saw one hit the wall and one caught us in the back of the turret. We are falling back and repositioning because, you know what, we weren't being effective there. We're going to move to another location where we can be effective and we can have an impact on this game, because the field over there for now is not the place for us. So we are going to push right, and kind of like a right mid, if that makes sense. Going to kind of push in that area and see if we can't make some things happen. Right around F5, F6 is our goal area, and that location is very important in order to win the game. You kind of have to have the mid locked down. If you have the mid locked down, you can kind of get shots, because as you can see there, the middle of the board, you can get shots on pretty much anybody down these alleys. Now, of course, the downside is they can get fire on you, so if you can come in there with a numerically superior force, you're gonna go ahead and make some things happen. Now, as you can see here, guys, we are not being contested at all. We're just kind of driving, you know, all in their area. Not a big deal. Go ahead and put a clutch shot into the side of that gentleman right there. Now, we have a variety of shells right now. We are running a PCR, and that's fine. We are 2 tiers down, and, you know, when you're 2 tiers down, you have to do it, you know, you have to do what it takes, really. So we've got an IS-7 up here to our 12 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't use him in some way, shape, or form. We're going to check to the left here, see if we have any targets down here. And, you know, this kind of reminds me of Himmelsdorf, or, you know, any of your urban cities. You know, this map has a kind of a combination of those two. It's a little bit urban, a little bit open. Of course, you know, your heavy tanks are going to tend to go towards the more closed off locations. We're going to go ahead and put a round into the side of that gentleman right there. We grind it up against stage 2 right there, and of course he gets annihilated. Did not have anything to do with us. We're going to see if we can't use our blistering DPM to get rid of this gentleman. We put one in him right there, and he's just kind of peeking around the corner. And, you know, we're taking some rounds here. We go ahead and remove that gentleman with an excellent clutch shot, and this is kind of the point where in the game, you know, where we begin to finesse these Reds. We're in a perfect position. We're in here. We're going to make some things happen. We've got some guys peeking around the corner, and, you know, you have to be very cautious when you're in a tier 8 tank, because your health is limited, your armor's limited. You, especially, you know, when there's so many tier 10s, and it seems like this game is lousy with them. Seems like there's a number of tier 10s, so we have to be very, very cautious, because we could go around the wrong corner and get sent back to the garage. Moegetik. Moving on. It looks like the gentleman is kind of pulled away from this side right here. He's pulling back over. We trade shots right there. You know, he takes us down even further. Now we're really living on borrowed time, but we have to be cautious. We have to have faith. And guys, you know, don't ever say, okay, well, I don't have any health, let me go ahead and kill myself, because you can still make things happen. And ByzantineFalcon is a perfect example of that. This is the definition of finessery. He is just finessing on these guys right here, and there's nothing they can do about it. He's going to pull out, put a clutch shot in there, and you know, he killed the guy who ran up on him. You know, we've got a 215B right here. We're going to try to finesse a round into him here. Put another round into him. We've got our allies shooting at him. And you know, we are in that good spot. We're in a troublesome spot. Can't get anything on us there. We try to put a round in his lower plate. Looked like it possibly dispersed into his upper plate. We do have a 268 here pushing us. That is bad news. You know, and man, we go ahead and take that 268 out. It's just the only word that you can use to describe this game is finessery, because that's exactly what's going on. He is finessing these tier 10s. And you know what? He's in good cover. That 215B got removed. And you know, now, I mean, it's on an even kill. I mean, the game play is amazing. It's even Steven almost. And you know, the thing is that's all you need. Is you need an advantage. You need an opportunity. If you know, if the Reds will take the pressure off of you just a little bit, you can get out there and you can shine. And especially in the Mutz, it's easy to make that happen. You know, I'm not saying necessarily that we all could do what this gentleman's doing, but you know what? It would be easier if we had a good tank. And I believe the Mutz is that. From the gameplay I've watched, and I've watched numerous accounts, you can really get out here and get things done with this tank. And that's exactly what we're doing, you know what I mean? Like right now, we are on the hunt for the rest of the bad guys. And we have got a pretty decent speed on this thing. So it seems to me like it's a very, very solid medium. Maybe not so much on the armor, but you know what? Armor is a myth. As a bad chat driver. Moving on, we go ahead and put a round in that gentleman. Go ahead and get him off the board. Not a big deal. And we are essentially looking for other targets. We've got APCR loaded. And, you know, hopefully we want to get to the point where we can spot them first and then go ahead and put some heat down on them. Or better yet, spot them, get the other allies in on it, and then we can kind of come in and sweep up the kill. Because when you are low health like this, guys, you really need to be very, very cautious. Because, you know, you end up turning that wrong corner and get melted to the ground. So you have to be cautious at all times, even more so when you are low health like this. Because, you know, a lot of guys want to try to keep their survival rating up. And, you know, you're not going to keep your survival rating up getting killed at the very end of the game. Moving on. So, you know, as far as damage goes, we've done a good deal of damage. We've got some kills. I mean, we're just doing fantastic right now. You know, the RNG has been with us. Everything has just so far went completely right. We were being pushed by a couple of 10s, and we managed to finesse them. And you know, just I can't say enough good things about the piloting of this particular vehicle. I mean, we are, you know, witnessing a Mutz operator right now. Now, moving on. Essentially, we've got these guys outnumbered 2-1. You know, I guess you can count Artie. Even though he looks like he is moving / falling back, you know, we're going to go ahead and get in here and get on the hunt. And you know, essentially, guys, we're not really being aggressive at this point. I mean, we are pulling back to hide behind the Artie. When he dies, we can use him as cover, which is a wise decision. But we have to be cautious. Now, at the same time, we are, you know, we're capping it out, which is the right thing to do. You know, in these cases where the tide can shift very quickly. I mean, if you get a full health heavy and a half health something else, I mean, yeah, they could win this thing for them. So capping out in this case is the right move. And you know, you need to do what it takes to win, and that's exactly what we did. We went ahead and won this thing, and you know, we're going home a winner. We've got some good silver in our pocket. 2351, 157 assists. We got an ace tanker 99% badge. We blocked no damage, which kind of goes with my theory of a tank with a good gun and good armor, good gun good mobility, not having good armor, and I kind of think that's exactly what it is. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Check the description below for other channels very similar to my own. Make sure to check out Bull by the Fellhanded on Facebook. We'll see you guys next time.